guys, so Real Madrid needed an absolute golazo from Federico Valverde in the 90-something minute of the game to keep their title hopes alive this season, and we need to talk about it. But if you haven't seen my face and you don't know me, or maybe you've been watching my videos and you haven't subscribed yet, hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am Just Max, and on this channel we talk about football from the La Liga to the Prem and of course the UEFA Champions League. And today the subject of our conversation is the La Liga title race, particularly the game between Athletic Club versus Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabéu, coming off that horrendous performance against Arsenal in midweek. Real Madrid absolutely needed to make a statement. There's been many things coming up in the media, especially after Barcelona of course went on to do their own remontada yesterday. It like added salt to injury about what Real Madrid should have done but weren't able to do against Arsenal, and the fact that Barcelona were able to open up a 7-point lead. Real Madrid absolutely needed to answer in this game. And so coming into this match, we already knew that Kylian Mbappe would not be participating in this match because he was serving that one game ban for the red card that he sustained last week, which, if you ask me, one game is not enough, but what do I know? Anyway, this is the team that Ancelotti fielded for today's game. Thibaut Courtois returned back to goal, reprising his role from midweek. Federico Valverde surprisingly was holding that right back position. There was no Lucas Vázquez from the start of the game. We did have Raúl Asensio in the center back position, pairing up with Rudiger for that role, and Eduardo Camavinga rounded out the back for Real Madrid. Luka Modric, Tchouaméni and Dani Ceballos held it down for Real Madrid in midfield, but something different happened in that we saw a different positioning for Bellingham this time around, whereas he was able to come out from that deep role that he's been playing all season long to play in his much preferred position just behind the striker. And then we had Rodrigo and Vinícius Jr rounding out the front two for Real Madrid. If you would remember, this was a partnership, or this was a style of football that was very successful for Real Madrid last season. I mean, of course, not the part of Federico Valverde in defense, but essentially the fact that Real Madrid had Bellingham a little bit more advanced, it's already started to pay dividend the moment we got into the match. First things first, we saw him being able to be everywhere on the pitch. From an Athletic Bilbao positioning though, I was a little bit disappointed. Yes, I do understand that Nico Williams is carrying an injury. We did not get to see Iñaki Williams from the start of this game, or at all, if I remember correctly. But the way they were set up, for a moment there, I was not sure if I was watching Athletic Club or Getafe. Athletic Club, it seems to me that the word from the manager was defend, 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 and we're just going to sit here and try and get a 0-0 draw and take it back to the backs country, and that is the best we can do. Understand me, it's a very solid tactic against any other team but Real Madrid. I don't know if the games about versus Barcelona or Arsenal or even Liverpool haven't taught us anything, because against a team like Real Madrid, what you want to do is attack. Attack is the best form of defense. But unfortunately for Athletic Club, Real Madrid today had so much time and space to think about what they want to do, to plan their attack, and it did not help that Vinícius Jr suddenly turned into Ballon d'Or Vinícius Jr today. Today he had the game of his life. Welp, I was looking at that Athletic Bilbao defender and I was feeling so sorry for him, because Vinícius Jr kept on turning him every which way but loose. When I tell you that Vinícius Jr was bringing out the style, Vinícius Jr was doing everything. In fact, the amount of time he had the runs down to the byline, the only thing that was missing for Vinícius Jr in that first half, in my opinion, was a very good ball into the 18 to finish out the move. But ultimately, he did every other thing right. And it didn't help also that Jude Bellingham was being an ultimate jack in the box. For example, he was everywhere. Where there was a header to be gotten, he was there. Where there was a ball to be recovered, he was there. Where there was a pass to be made, he was making the back. Jude Bellingham really stood out and said, I need to rescue my name in the streets. because I'm still him. Maybe you guys forgot who I am, but I am Jude Bellingham. And today, if we forgot briefly who he was, we did remember, because this today was a very, 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 very good performance from Real Madrid. And of course, I cannot overemphasize the way that they pressed Athletic Bilbao. Collectively, they were amazing. When I talk about even their defensive line was amazing, hear me out, that there were some moments in the game where Athletic Club finally got the ball, but they were not able to break forward. Why couldn't they break forward? Because the ball recovery skills for Real Madrid today was top notch. It was given the Real Madrid that was winning last season, the Real Madrid that won La Liga last season, the Real Madrid that won Champions League last season. And even the formation gave that. The only difference, and I have to call this out, and I'm not trying to be controversial or anything, the difference that made the performance from last week versus the performance from today, or the performance from Arsenal to the performance today, is that there was no Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe was not in this team, which allowed Jude Bellingham to come back to his preferred position, which allowed Vinícius Jr to have free space in that left wing, in that left flank, so that he could run up, so he could do his thing without him and Kylian Mbappe often colliding into each other. There was no spacing problems today. And today, Bellingham just had the freedom to be himself. We saw the best of the Real Madrid team, and this was the formula that won last season. This was the formula that was working last season. So I ask again, is Kylian Mbappe really needed in this Real Madrid team? Like just think about it from what we saw today. Don't think about it from an emotional perspective, or from I like this player because I really do like him. He's one of the great talents of this generation. He's amazing, but from what we saw today, from the performance that we saw today against an Athletic Club, the number 4 team in the league, a team that is ultimately striving for Champions League positioning, this team looked good. And it only took one change for that to strike. The second half was insane. It was like Real Madrid on steroids. They were amazing. Today, I want to really spend some time in applauding the performance of Vinícius Jr. He was amazing. I know I said it before, but I cannot talk enough about the performance that I saw from him. He was not arguing with a ref. He had his head very cool. He was very, very like a workman, very businessman. Like he got about to doing his thing. He really put in a very good shift. And I have to give him his kudos. And at one point, he had the ball in the back of the net after a very, very well walked move by Real Madrid. But ultimately, it was ruled out for offside because, Endrick was offside in the build-up of the play. But we cannot, I would have honestly not minded if they gave him the goal, because the effort that he put in today for this Real Madrid team, it required a goal. And that brings me to my boy Bellingham. I'm just thinking back watching this Real Madrid team, and for a team that I don't regularly support, I'm a Barca fan. On this channel, it's always going to be Vizca Barca. But I honestly enjoyed this Real Madrid performance today. It gave good football. It gave something that I could enjoy. Watching Real Madrid this season has been very laborious, only because I like La Liga, because I care. I want to see what they're doing, because I want to know how they're faring compared to my team. So regardless of if they're playing bad, I'm still going to watch, because I want to talk about it here as well. But today I really enjoyed watching this game. They played a really good game, and today when I look at Bellingham, he looked like the player that we saw last season, the player that I thought should have been in the front runner for the Ballon d'Or. Somehow, I don't know how he got snubbed in the whole entire process, but he carried Real Madrid last season. I thought he should have been up there. The kind of performances that he kept on putting in for Real Madrid, which were, game rescuing performances, those were the kind of performance he put in today. Yes, he did not have a goal on this occasion, but he could easily have had 3. Like, there was that moment when he had that point blank header against Jan Oblak. Now, let me tell you, if not for the brilliance of Jan Oblak, Real Madrid and Jude Bellingham should have gotten themselves on the score sheet. He was really having a game today. Jude Bellingham deserved a goal in this game, but Jan Oblak said no. But that notwithstanding, he had a performance both in attack, in midfield, and certainly in defense. Another player I want to talk about in this match is Luka Modric. Now listen, age might be nothing but a number. It might just be nothing but a number, because he really just was out there doing the screws in midfield. He had a very good game. When you look at his performance in combination to the entire team performance, it was a really good game. Now, for everybody who played at the back end for Real Madrid today, 10 over 10. While you guys will say, oh, but they did not really do enough of defending because Athletic Bilbao was opting to play a very, very compact line. The fact that even when Athletic Bilbao could get the ball, but they couldn't create a meaningful counter-attack, do you realize how focused you have to be to make sure that when a break is on, however rarely and inconsistently that may be, that you are still switched on to ensure that it doesn't come to fruition? This is why I give everybody in Real Madrid's backline today 10 over 10. They were switched on from minute 1 to minute 97, and that is amazing stuff. Now, isolating from that backline, I want to bring out Federico Valverde. My man, you need to come to the front of the class, because today you are the decider. Federico Valverde had a game of games. He had a game that was, he had a very good, he scored a wonderful goal. Like, that was a golazo. Many people, like, okay, before I talk about that golazo, so you can understand how important, how amazing that goal was, we have to give credit to the entire Athletic Bilbao team for how well they defended. For 90 odd minutes, they held Real Madrid back. They repelled, and they were throwing their bodies in the line. They maintained a very compact line. When I tell you that I did not know the difference between Athletic Bilbao today and Getafe, it's not even a joke, because that was how compact they were defending. They were very, very disciplined in their defensive performance. They were just throwing the ball every which way. They were throwing their bodies on things. They were tight. Finding long-range shots was even difficult, because when you put those long-range shots into the box, one, it's either it's being ricocheted over a body, or two, somebody is really literally throwing their leg at it and repelling it. So I say all of this to say that for the fact that Federico Valverde was able to pick up on that loose ball, not just pick up on it, control it, steady himself, and then whip that volley past Jan Oblak, who was having a game. Like, understand me when I say that Jan Oblak was having a game. He ended up being the man of the match today. That should tell you how amazing of a shift he put in for Athletic Bilbao today. Like, nothing could go. If the man was an octopus today, he was literally grabbing onto everything. But for the fact that Federico Valverde was able to have the skill, the awareness, and the presence of mind to be able to do that volley, 10 over 10. I see why this man is Real Madrid's most important player this season. He has been, when in doubt, look to Federico Valverde. Because honestly, it would have suited me well for Real Madrid to have dropped points as a Barcelona fan, for us to be able to advance, maybe open a bit more space. But I'm above being a Barcelona fan, I am a football fan first and foremost. So I have to say, like, I really enjoyed this. I'm very glad that they won. This was the correct result for the kind of performance that they put in today. I felt like Real Madrid absolutely deserved to walk away from the Santiago Bernabéu with all 3 points. I am disappointed by Ernesto Valverde's thinking today. I don't understand why he decided to set up his team in this manner. Like I said at the beginning of this video, the best form of defense against a team like Real Madrid is attack. The fact that he chose to go the other way around, I think this defeat, this loss, falls squarely on his shoulders. But let me know what you thought about this game in the comment section. Who was your best performance and how much did you enjoy it? Because I certainly did, and I'm not even a Madridista. But until next time, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video and have a good one. Bye guys.